Story time with Lala.
Jabuti the Tortoise, a trickster tale from the Amazon, told and illustrated by Gerald McDermott. Jabuti the Tortoise played a song on his flute. His shell was smooth and shiny. His song was sweet. His music wove through the tangled vines and floated above the treetops. All the creatures of the rainforest listened to his song. For some, Jabuti's song was sour. Jaguar could remember when Jabuti tricked him into chasing his own tail. Lizard could remember when Jabuti tricked him into giving Jabuti a ride on his back. Can you imagine a turtle riding on the back of a lizard? Tapir could remember when Jabuti tricked him into a tug-of-war with Whale. But the birds of the air loved Jabuti's music, and they sang when he played. All except Vulture, who could not sing at all. He was jealous of Jabuti and waited for the day when he could eat the little tortoise. There came a time when all the birds of the air were invited to a festival in heaven. The King of Heaven called them together to sing, to rejoice, and to receive his blessing. When Jabuti saw the great gathering of the birds, he wanted to go too. "I want to play my flute for the King of Heaven," he said. Vulture laughed at him. "I may not be able to make music like you," said Vulture, "but I can spread my wings and soar all the way to heaven." "Take me with you," Jabuti pleaded. Vulture saw his chance. "Climb on my back, little friend," he said. Vulture spread his dark wings and rose up in the air. Jabuti held tight to the vulture's feathers as they flew high above the treetops. The dense forest and the great river stretched far below. They had almost reached heaven when Vulture suddenly swooped and turned upside down. Jabuti lost his hold of Vulture's feathers and slipped off his back. Jabuti went tumbling down through the sky. The earth came rushing toward him, and he cried out, "Twigs and bushes, flowers and trees, move aside, make way for me." All the plants and trees of the forest spread apart to make way for Jabuti. But he had forgotten to call to the rock. Jabuti came down on it with a crack, and his smooth, shiny shell broke into pieces. At that moment, the music of the festival in heaven stopped. The King of Heaven looked down and saw Vulture joining the other birds. "Where is Jabuti?" asked the King of Heaven. Vulture shrugged. "Well, how would I know?" he answered. "Jabuti wanted to play for me, and you offered to bring him here," said the King of Heaven sternly. "Tell me where he is." Vulture turned away from the King of Heaven and hid his head beneath his wing. The King of Heaven commanded the birds to search for Jabuti. The birds filled the sky, flying high over the treetops, swooping low through the tangled vines, looking for the little tortoise. Toucan, macaw, and hummingbird found Jabuti. He was lying helplessly in the forest. His beautiful shell was broken. The birds gathered the pieces and patched him together. When they were done, Jabuti played a song of thanks for them. And where the birds had touched Jabuti, they each took on a new color. Toucan got a red and yellow beak, macaw bright orange feathers, and hummingbird an emerald green belly. Vulture stayed the same dull color, and he still can't sing. Jabuti the tortoise plays on his flute. His music weaves through the tangled vines and floats above the treetops. His shell may be cracked and patched, but his song is sweet, at least to some.